Welcome back to the Creepy Files. I've seen all your comments about the new Baddington tapes, which is why I'm covering them next episode. Today, I want to review something that has been highly anticipated by FNaF fans and VR fans alike, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted for the Oculus Quest. I've been waiting for this game on Quest since it came out. In fact, I waited so long that I bought a VR-ready PC in the Oculus Link so that I could play it. So, I have had experience with the PC version of Help Wanted. But once it came out on Quest, I bought it again to see how it played. So let's take a look. Graphics-wise, I was surprised at how little they had to sacrifice to get it to run on the Quest. The models all look great, the animation is good, and I couldn't really tell the difference in the lighting, although I'm sure there was some. If I'm honest, I was transfixed on the model quality of this Nightmare Fredbear action figure. The level of detail they preserve is honestly impressive. Each game mode looks unique and reminds me of the original game it's based on, from the darkened corridors of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 to the dimly lit green grime of FNaF 3. Each game seems to match with its original. And the new unique game modes like Vent Repair and Maintenance feel like they match with the other games too. The one thing I would say is a negative is the loss of texture quality. These candy bars and food bags used to have really great flavor text that made it seem really funny and immersive, but the loss of texture quality reduced them to blurry pixels. If anything, I would have preferred they just remove the text altogether, because seeing this blurry mess took me out of it more than anything. Something FNaF fans have been saying since the very first game in this series is that it would be a perfect fit for VR. And guess what? They're right. Each game translates really well to VR, and in some ways is made even scarier. Looking to your right and seeing the open vent in FNaF 3 knowing Springtrap could burst out at any moment, or watching the FNaF 1 and 2 animatronics actually move toward you is definitely scary. Plus, the new game modes are equally, if not more, terrifying. Seeing the mangle disappear into the darkness is one of the scariest things that can happen in VR. And the feeling of actually sitting in the office is strangely immersive. I found myself kicking back and holding the soda in one hand and the phone in the other like I was actually settling in for a night watch job. However, even with all of this great stuff, there is one problem: motion sickness. Considering all of these games have you sitting still for the most part, I never had a problem with motion sickness in the PC version. But for some reason, this game, after only about a half hour, made me feel a little nauseous, which isn't a big deal considering you can get a lot out of the relatively short nights in a half hour. But there always seemed to be this weird jittering effect that made me feel not so great after a longer period of playing it. So, is the game worth it? If you're a fan of FNaF or VR horror in general, then yes. But considering it's still just an assortment of minigames based around the FNaF games, I wouldn't hope to get something more grand out of it if you aren't interested in either of those things. In general, the gameplay and visuals are very immersive and have a surprisingly low loss of quality and fidelity on the Quest, but there are a few downsides that might keep you from playing it for hours on end. But for the price and the experience you get out of it, I definitely recommend it. So, this episode was a bit different than my regular Creepy Files. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Would you prefer these to be a whole separate review series, or that I continue to diversify the Creepy Files? You can suggest what I should cover next on my Twitter or Instagram, and follow me on Twitch because I've got more stuff going over there soon. And again, next episode is covering the new Baddington tapes. See you all then.
Kanye and I are the biggest fans of Family Feud. What'd you say earlier? You waited your whole life?